Ever had one of those sketches where the arms just look like soggy noodles? Yeah, I've been there. Hi, I'm Nima, and in this video I'll show you how I approach drawing upper arm muscles, biceps, triceps, brachialis, and the tiny but mighty Coracobrachialis. No fancy degrees here, just what I've picked up over time and how I like to break it down when I draw. Whenever I start with muscles, I like to anchor things with the skeleton. It's like the scaffolding. For the upper arm, it's pretty simple. Just a humerus bone connecting two joints, the shoulder and the elbow. I usually block it out using a cylinder for the arm and spheres for the joints. This helps me get the proportions right before diving into the details. Think of the upper arm muscles like a sandwich. The biceps sits on top, brachialis in the middle, and the triceps chills in the back. Alright, let's talk about the biceps. The biceps connects the shoulder to the forearm and has two heads, a long head and a short one. A little fun fact here, the short head is actually the longer one in terms of attachment points. I usually start with a simple oval and then add it more like a teardrop when I add those attachment strands. They don't have to be super precise, since most of it gets covered by other muscles anyway. I like to sketch it in both a stretched and a flexed state to get a feel for how it shifts. Next up, the brachialis. It's an often overlooked muscle lying between biceps and triceps. It starts around the middle of the humerus and connects to the ulna. When I draw it from the front, I simplify it into kind of an oval shape and then refine from there. From the side, I sometimes think of it like a soft noodle or even a banana tucked under the biceps. Now the triceps. It has three heads: lateral, long and medial head. When they come together, they form this sort of horseshoe shape around the back of the upper arm. What helped me a lot is starting with the big tendon at the bottom. That's like the anchor point. I built the muscle shapes around that. The long head connects all the way to the scapula, threading between the teres major and minor. Okay, now for the Coracobrachialis. This one, easy to overlook because you barely see it unless the arm's raised or flexed. It runs from the coracoid process of the scapula down along the inner upper arm. I begin here by roughly blocking in the shapes of the biceps, the deltoid and the triceps. The Coracobrachialis originates near the top of the shoulder joint circle, and from there it has an elongated leaf-like form, runs along the biceps and inserts beneath it. Alright, time to put the pieces together. I layer the biceps, triceps, brachialis, and if visible, the Coracobrachialis into the arm sketch and adjust based on the pose or angle. And your arm sketch is officially jacked. If something still feels off, don't stress. I usually revisit the tricky parts a few times from different angles before they stick. If you found this helpful, drop a like and hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. In the upcoming videos, I'll be covering the lower arm muscles and then, we're heading straight into the nightmare zone, drawing hands. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.